What's up guys, it's Michael here. In this video, we're going to talk about KYC, know your clients. And it is very important that people who start business should understand this concept. So let's get right into it. Before I begin this video, please like, share, and subscribe. It'll help out the YouTube algorithm notify other people about this video once I get into more important topics. So when you start a business, whether it's a product or a service, you get people coming in asking you questions. So like, let's put it for example, we're gonna use big businesses. So you look at PwC, KPMG, anyone with tax accountant, anything to do with a lot of money, especially, anything with transfer a big dollar amounts, like such as car dealerships, anything with a mass amount of cash coming in. You always want to know your clients. Even if it doesn't pertain to you, you should always understand these three letters, KYC. The reason is because there's a lot of people out there are doing fraudulent things. And it's your job as the employer or an employee is to catch them before it gets integrated, or when your client gets in trouble, you don't get, pinned with the blame. So you get pinned with the blame and you unintentionally didn't know, you will get the hassle or fines too, or even jail time. So I had a friend who actually went through this trouble, but thank God, lucky for them, they fired their client about a year ago. So when they got a search warrant, a whole entire, basically a team of agents coming in, armed to the teeth with guns and everything, they're able to walk out and say, hey, I fired this guy, I have nothing to do with it. Here's all the information, nothing to do with it, you're clean. And the reason why it's really more important is to keep you out of trouble. And that is the most important. So there's a lot of people out there who do money laundering and fraud. They won't tell you about it. And here are some tips and tricks that you can understand to catch these red flags. And you can utilize these tactics later on. So when you start your own business, you can understand what are people coming from. Because the only way to develop your own type of red flag censorship and to understand what people coming in is to experience it yourself. So here are some tips or tricks that you can utilize yourself and you can make your own and maybe share with other people. So going down to number one, in the beginning, when you start a business, you have to take everyone in because, that's how it begins. The under one, you ask them your background, their background, technically. It's not specifically yours, their background. They explain to you. So if you're, example, your tax accountant or your real estate agent, they basically go up, buy a property or basically do a tax return. And they decide to pay you all in cash. No credit card, no bank check, all in cash. Dang, that right there, number one. When there's a mass amount of transfer of money, especially all in cash and there's no statements, that's a red flag. So going down the list, to know your clients, number two is ask them how does their business operates. If they don't want to tell you, like basically what their job is, your clients tell you the simple details. So they don't have to tell you everything, but they have to tell you the simple details. For example, where's your business located? Where's your suppliers been? Where is, like, for example, your bank accounts are set up for your business? And you can ask other questions. How many employees do you have? Where is your business located? Can I actually find your business address on whatever specific website, or are you registered with the state? So if you have those transactions come in, then you clear another checkpoint. Number three, so let's say that you are a tax professional or you do real estate. Number three is to link it all together is follow the money, meaning whatever money comes in, money has to go out. If there's a link breakage, so for example, you do financials for another person, you found there's a link breakage somewhere, meaning like this guy bought some type of item or object that costs like tens to $100,000, even millions of dollars, but you couldn't figure out where the money comes from, that is another sign of a red flag. Meaning is they're trying to take dirty money coming in from whatever source they have and trying to make it clean, using you as a middleman. The worst part is, once they get caught, and once a court order issues like a search warrant, you're going to be caught up in it. So it's your job to catch these people before it happens. If it's a clean client and they pass all your flags, then yeah, let them go. But in the beginning, if you don't know about this stuff, what I usually prefer is you give them, basically, I call this, it's not really recommended business, but in my way, because since I'm Asian, I give them basically the opportunity of doubt, meaning I give them the benefit of doubt first. And if you still don't explain to me what's going on, and I find like there's something really fishy going on, the second time I engage you again, then we cancel the deal. So that breaks down to number four. So once you start your business, you start growing more, So you want to know your clients. Let's say like out of your 10 clients, you have one that's suspicious. You let them slide through the first time. The second time, you have them sign something like an agreement or something called engagement letter. Basically a non-disclosure form, anything. A form that agrees that you will not take responsibility if for some reason this client of yours decides to get in trouble with the authority, get in trouble with the law. You will not be blamed or sued or anything. And they have to sign it. Get them to sign it or you do not take them a client. Number 5, going down to know your client, is understand their background, their passion. Explain to them when they speak to you, how do they act in front of you? So if you're a business professional and you have a guy who, let's say, sells like products or a service, and he kind of comes in a way really shady. So basically he dresses like a thug, put it that way, or doesn't dress for his profession. Let's say he's a DJ, he dresses up all in a suit and everything. Or he said he's not a DJ, he said he's a guy who sells like basically computer parts, but doesn't really dress like a person who really works in there. He doesn't act like it. Those are red flags you should consider, because this type of information, you should always check people's backgrounds. This even apply to real estate too. When you rent out to other people, you do background checks of people. Like there's a lot of law pertaining to real estate, which I'll get into it in future videos, but there are ways and loopholes around it that can protect yourself from getting in trouble against the law. Because every rules are written, there's always loopholes. For example, like taxes. When there's taxes, there's always loopholes around those taxes. So going down to the next topic of know your client, the most important one is building a relationship. For example, if your client needs to have like something done, the question is, let's say a due date for taxes or on April, right? And does that specific client or specific product or person that you're doing service from, do they ever come to you last minute? Meaning is when they need something done, do they send it to you last minute? That tells you is integrity of the client. Do they care? How do they operate? So basically, if they ask you to do some type of really hard project and it takes you like a week to do it, and you have one day to do it, and they send you on the last day and they tell you to go finish it, that tells you that client is not right for you. And that's a lot of red flags. Integrity of the client. Do they treat you with the same respect as you treat them? Going to the last one of know your client is understanding, do they pay you on time? So some businesses require you to pay up front or at least half. In my type of business running, I give them benefit of doubt. Basically, I do the work first, then they pay me afterwards. And that is how I basically I bite a bullet right there for it. A lot of people don't pay. But at the same time, the people who do pay, I keep them because integrity is trustworthy. And those people who do burn the bridge, you never deal with them again. Even when they come back to you, you have them say, hey, next thing they come back to you, it's like, okay. So instead of like, you're the same guy, let's say, who sends you work last minute, give me a hassle or like yells at me when I'm doing the work for you. You can always charge them double or you won't take it. As simple as that. This is how you deal with your own clients. In the beginning, when you start off small, you have to take all the work, take all the crap. Once you grow bigger, like medium size, you have about like 10 to 20 clients are making you a good living. This is when you can start nitpicking. But KYC, know your client, should always be done, even in the beginning. Even if you have to take everyone, always be cautious because that can save your bacon in the future. That's it. I have for this video. I'll see you guys next time. Please like, share, subscribe. And I got more interesting topics for you guys. Peace.